Why do you think it's hard for people to fully express?
Perhaps it's like ingrained through parents, school, society itself, who knows, to like fit in or be a certain way or cling to a group to like fit in or feel more popular or get rich. Who knows? Like, oh, if you want this, you're gonna have to act this way, you know? So
or
from
do
A to
certain
B,
things.
you're gonna have to go through these steps to get there.
Yeah.
Versus like you could be anything, you can do anything. You don't have to follow this path to get there, and you don't have to get there. You can get anywhere else.
Yeah.
There's many ways to get there.
And you can get there if you go like maybe under the bridge instead of over the bridge.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe people just don't feel comfortable.
Sure.
Like if it's already laid out on a plan, like okay, here's steps 1, 2, and 3 to get to there. Cool, I got something I can follow, and I'm not so scared of the future because I know what I need to do to get there. Instead of in uncertainty in the future, like, oh, I got this one goal, but I don't know how to get there. I might as well just follow this one. Here's the steps.
Yeah, man. That's beautiful. Thank
Either
you.
that, or just judgment from others. I feel is maybe the main thing.
Or discipline on yourself.
Yeah, self-discipline. Yeah, being who you want to be, being your true self.
Because I feel like that's almost the struggle now. It's like to figure out how we can. Like that is like, I don't like to use the word purpose, but you know, like to find out how we can fully be ourselves. You know, or to fully embrace. Like I like dissecting that thought of like, wait, what's holding me back, or what's stopping me from ... Or like, why am I not fully expressing or fully becoming vulnerable? Like, why? Is it the environment? Is it the people I'm around? Is it the substance? Is it drinking? You know, whatever it may be to that individual, like, find it out, figure it out, right? Find out why. But it's because it's different for all of us. But that's cool how you kind of shared some tools on how we can dissect a little bit, you know?
Yeah, but it takes that introspection. You got to dig deep
Yeah.
inside yourself and willing to go inside those caves and dark places where you may keep submerged and not think about.
So this is a perfect segue. I'm sorry, you can go. I got this right here, so you can go ahead.
Joey, I said something about last time. Like he said something about this feels like a therapy session coming here, and I do feel like that. It feels like a therapy session, you know, coming into this thing. Like how you just said, like you have to lie yourself. Like ultimately, I know like coming into this today, like it's gonna be a talk of like. I know you now that I've known you more. It's like you're a person who likes to dig deep into like not just the surface, and you like to get deeper into it. And I'm a person that just like I don't allow that shit. Like I don't let anyone come into like a too deep into my world unless the people I care for or love will allow that to. So coming in here, like I know, like all right, it's more for myself more than anything. Like I'm putting myself in a position of being vulnerable, like you said you want us to be. So it's challenging. Like I take it as a challenge for my own personal growth. Like put myself in these conversations that I don't want to have or I don't want to be a part of, but allowing myself ultimately, like, we have a choice, you know, do we want to come into this room today?
Yeah.
I could have like hit you up and been like, hey, bro, you know what? I don't think so. Like, whatever. Like, it's not gonna happen.
Straight
Like,
up.
made an excuse, you know. But ultimately, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. You know, let me get out of my comfort zone. Let me get in here. Let me talk. Let me hear. Because ultimately, when I come here, I'm more interested in hearing your guys' side. Because I already know my side. I know his side. I'm more interested in understanding where you're coming from. Because I don't know how to say, like, I want to know what's prompting you to want to have these conversations, because
Don't we all?
Because me personally, like, I look at it as like, I know where I want to have certain conversations with people, and that comes from like, and I don't know, we could have this off camera, you know.
No, you can have it on camera too.
Or on camera, sure. But it's like, I feel like I understand people. For me, I understand people more. Like, I understand like your home. That's how I've understood people. Like, tell me your house and tell me
where you go to at night,
where you sleep at night, and what brought you, so I can understand you more. And that's how I understand these guys more, because like I've, you know, more personable, got to like understand them to a more personal level.
For sure.
So like with you guys, I'm always like I don't like I'm fighting it. Like I'm like,
it seems like a student, like willing to learn from everybody. So you have this willingness to like grab and pull information from certain sources, which is excellent, right? You're willing to grow and learn and expand and just take what you can and like use it, right? But then what about putting yourself out there now and exposing certain things about you, and then while talking about it, learning more about yourself? Yeah, that is a tough part, right? Like,
because I get what you're coming from, where like you're in this position right now where you're trying to dig deep, about
acknowledge and for sure.
And I feel like sometimes like I can only speak for myself. I don't feel like I don't have that privilege sometimes where I can dig deep because I have other worries in my life where I gotta focus on that. And I feel like sometimes you gotta get to a point in life where you allow yourself to tackle that part of your life, or maybe I don't know if it's a privilege or it's just like you take that choice.
It's an ability, it's capability.
You prioritize things in life. You set your own mental health first over other things, and that's how you choose, I guess. But me, I guess right now I'm more on like I don't know. I feel like I'm not happy where I'm at, so I got to get somewhere else.
Sure.
And I feel like sometimes this is like
stepping stone.
No,
you did say therapeutic.
It's therapeutic, but it also feels like sometimes it's like I don't know, like
whatever. I mean, you could express it however the way you're thinking right now. What
It's
does it feel like?
It's like a blurriness. It's like but it's not. Like I know what it is. Ultimately, I'm aware of like my emotions. I'm aware of like who I talk to. I'm aware of like where you're at based off the conversation we had. I don't know you personally all the way, but I feel like you're a person who has a lot of wisdom, who's experienced things, and I base it off what you know about him. You brought him into this podcast, so like, I always have to. Like, I know he's bringing something to it,
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm just like, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes you got to allow yourself. I'm just talking off the boomers right now.
Keep going.
Allow yourself to be within that moment.
Yeah, but no. Ultimately, I always feel like you have a great thing going on here. It's like it's about like letting yourself loose, like talking about whatever you want to talk about. I just feel like sometimes like it's hard for me because like
it's hard for me, bro.
I'm not trying to talk about shit. I'm trying to do shit. Like I'm just trying to like
literally.
Get somewhere in life, but it's like sometimes you got to talk about things to get to where you want to get to life.
It.
Because the more that you talk about it, you're gonna realize like you guys having your conversation there. You guys are allowed. If you never expressed that to each other, then you would not know that you were similar in that way. The more you express yourself to others, you're able to see the similarities and connections. Like, oh, okay, we're not so different. We are more similar than different. Okay, cool. We're on the same track. Yeah, we're more like each other than not like each other. We're closer than further apart, and I feel that's the connection that you make when you expose yourself to others. You're allowing them to tell you more about themselves and then create those connections. Whether it's somebody that you meet on the street, somebody at the bar.
And that's something I did tell you. You're asking how do you feel about like after we had a podcast, and I was like, honestly, I felt like I was able to like conversate. Like I felt more willing to like actually like talk, or like hold a conversation with someone afterwards, as opposed to just being like, all right. Go back home. Let's go back to my world. I actually had this mindset of like, all right,
because it's
who are you? Like, let's talk. Like, let's have a conversation.
Straight up.
Which is, I think,
which is what it's
ultimately
about.
Like what this is all right. All talks of life. We all have something to bring to the table. We're all from different paths of life. Just coming to this point right now. It's a blessing. It's awesome.
It is beautiful, man. It's truly beautiful to be experiencing and to be creating, and then to see what that creation can do. It's
So it's where you come from and where you're going.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's a journey.
Yeah, because yesterday might not be who you are today.
Yeah, man. And letting yourself be within that moment, not holding anything back at all. Because that thing holding us back is what's stopping us from fully expressing. It's like I realized that ain't doing nothing for me. I gotta fully release in order to fully understand. And once I fully understand is when I can fully implement anything that I want to do or talk about.
I was about to say, well, that's not true, but then you finish your whole sentence and like, that is true. Because I was gonna say, there's been times where I've allowed myself and then I've seen what that does. But you're right though, like you have to let that out to understand like, all right, now moving forward, that's not the right way to go about. So you're right. Ultimately, you're right.
But you learn from experience from doing it. From speaking about it.
But it's uncomfortable, right?
It's
uncomfortable.
So uncomfortable. It's tense.
It would be more comfortable to just keep it all in your head, to yourself and your own judgment. You're fearful of other people's judgment of what may be inside, perhaps. I mean, that's probably what I feel is like, oh, I may be judged for saying something or telling them how I feel or think, They may think of me as weird or different or whatever the hell, you know.
Yeah.
But
everything,
it's uncomfortable.
and our minds can go, but our minds can keep going, right?
We can race to
it can keep going. What are they going to think? What are they going to think? All these things will create lists in our head of just things that aren't even real. Yeah,
But
they're not even real.
It doesn't matter what
They're not even there.
It just matters.
We are